I was wrong. Turns out Jonathan Davies can't catch the ball, right? I actually can't believe it. Jonathan Davies has been playing rugby longer than Reece Zammit has been alive, and he didn't catch the ball. He couldn't catch the ball. If only he was. Okay. Calm down, okay? My prediction was wrong. If you, Wales lost. I predicted Wales to win. But, Jonathan Davies, he can't catch, man. He just couldn't catch, man. Come on, man. Come on. Jonathan Davies has been a Lions. He played rugby probably when he was a kid, right? If you think about it, he's probably started playing rugby when he's like 7, 8, maybe 10 years old. He's like 33 now. So he's literally been playing rugby longer than Reece Zammit has been alive. And he couldn't catch the ball. He couldn't catch the freaking ball. Oh, it was so annoying. So annoying. Wales dominated the second half. Over the French. French were so frustrated. They were absolutely giving away penalties left and right. They opted for 2 drop goals because they were literally not going anywhere. Wales dominated possession, dominated territory in the second half, and was not able to score a single point. There was one opportunity where Wales had open acre space out wide. Dan Bigger, again, a lot of you guys hate him. I used to hate him. Had an amazing game this game. He spots the open space. Crossfield kick. Lands perfectly to Faletau, right, on the wing. Faletau runs down. He's getting taken out to the sideline. He had Jonathan Davies on the inside. Throws a pass to him. And Davies drops the ball. He had just open acre of space right in front of him, and he drops the ball, man. And this was 10 meters out on the try line. That would have been the try. That would have been it. That would have been the win for Wales. Jonathan Davies, man. 20 plus years of playing rugby. You drop that. You're gonna drop that one. I could not believe it, man. I honestly could not believe it. But all credits to France. Like I mentioned, the breakdown for the French was superior to the Welsh. The 4-pack dominance once again showed for the French. Having one less person on the bench for the French team did not really affect their strategy in terms of having that forward dominance. It was clearly again and again the Wales gets turned over at the breakdown, and the rush defense of the French team was really forcing Wales to not backwards, literally going backwards again and again. And then out of frustration, the French giving away too many penalties, allowing the Wales opportunities after opportunity to score points, and the defense steps up again and again for the French, and no points were scored by the Welsh team in the second half, despite overwhelming dominance. So, Jonathan Davies, thanks for ruining my predictions. If only you had another 10 years of playing rugby, maybe you will catch that. Maybe you'll catch a pass from your teammate to score a try. Okay, anyway. So the game kind of was really, so the French came out pretty predictable with their strategy, kicking strategy, and Dan Bigger, all respect to this man, stepped up with the kicking game. We know he could do it. Warren Gallen has taught him some good, a lot of, kicking when he was in charge. So today, the French try to put the kicking game with Dan Bigger, and Dan Bigger absolutely slaughtered the French in the kicking game. There was a 50-22. There was just huge return kicks that finds the ball in space. Just unbelievable. Kicking game absolutely stifles out the French. It literally stifles the French from any sort of offensive capabilities because of the superb, sublime kicking from Dan Bigger. This was I thought he deserved to be man of the match, but they're giving it to a French player, to Julien Marchand or whatever his name is. I thought he deserved the man of the match. That was amazing performance from Bigger. The Welsh attack is a little bit flat, and the French rush defense is putting so much pressure on the Welsh defense. Wales was not able to really break over the advantage line. And also the Wales forwards, unlike my predictions, was heavily dominated in the set pieces and in the breakdown. The speed of the breakdown, the French 4-pack was way faster than the Welsh. And that is, quite frankly, something that really let the Welsh team down. It's the speed getting to the breakdown. So many times, like, Wales taking the ball in the breakdown, hardly anyone there to support it. I mean, it's just really disappointing to see. Unlike last week against England, Wales were able to contest that breakdown really well, control that breakdown really well, getting that quick ball for their own team. This game, they were not able to do so. The French were able to slow the ball down consistently, even if they don't get a turnover, whilst the Welsh were not really able to slow down the French breakdown at all. So yeah, big loss there in the breakdown in the up front. And overall, the French came out firing, and Wales again started the game slow, allowed a try, and that turned out to be like the difference for the entire duration of the game. So let's have a look at the stats. Overall, right, just to give you an idea of the stats. Overall, so at halftime, right, the stats, the possession was 54-46, and French was like 60-something% for the first like 20 minutes, like 63% or something of possession in like the first 20 minutes against Wales, right? And then Wales were able to claw that back to 54-46 before halftime. Territory 55-45 halftime. Tackles made, 41 tackles made for the Wales, 1 missed tackle at halftime. French had to make 78 tackles, 11 missed tackles, 1 scrum loss for both sides at halftime, 3 penalties each, right? So that's the stats at halftime. By full time, Wales has 352 round meters, more than the French, 284. Wales had 124 tackles made to the 124 for the French. So Wales had to make more tackles in the second half. 14 missed tackles. So Wales had only 1 missed tackles at halftime, and that ballooned to 14 by the end of the second half. It really let them down quite a bit. Whereas the French side hasn't really changed. I think this might be wrong. I think this is the other way around. I'm pretty sure French is at 14 and Wales is at 9. Maybe I had to check this out because French had 11 at halftime, and I'm not sure how they could go down to 9 in the second half. Okay, let me just refresh this. Is this just not refreshed? Yeah, this has to be an error. But anyway, kicking game, as you can see, 39 kicks for Wales, 30 for French. Huge advantage to the Wales side. Dan Bigger really controlled that well, really played out of his body for those kicks. 50-22 was just amazing. Scrums lost, 1 on each side. Penalties 9 and 8 for both teams. So this was extremely close, and as you can see, the French had 11 missed tackles at halftime. So second half, the balloons only had 3 missed tackles in the second half. So really stepped out on the defense there for the French side, whereas Wales maybe slipped up a little bit there. So yeah, overall the game, let's have a go through some of the key points. The game kind of started off, like I mentioned, France coming out of the gate, super hot, super imposing, maybe feeling that, Grand Slam within reach, coming out. Immediately, 2 minutes of the game, gets a penalty and a breakdown, and immediately you kind of starting to see that might have been an issue for the Welsh team, and that became literally a recurring theme for the Welsh, having issues at the breakdown. So France gets on the ball 2 minutes in, 3 points to nil with the penalty. Wales gets back on the ball a few minutes later. The French, so basically Wales put in a high ball, and the French team illegally blocking basically set up a wall to block the Wales from challenging the high ball. Just an easy penalty like that, giving away. Wales gets themselves back 3 points apiece. And then France starts putting on a bit of momentum, building some phases, and you can see the Welsh defense was just falling apart. This is very disorganized. There's a lot of people kind of like, looking like a bit shell-shocked despite them being at home. And basically, Jonathan Davies gets Liam Williams gets a fullback and he puts a poor return kick. And this was probably the worst kick that he's done for the entire game. And France gets in the front four, starts attacking, basically build a few phases, finds a big overlap on the outside. So the Welsh defense was just hugely disorganized from following this poor kick from Liam Williams. France find themselves spaced out wide. Easy as that. 8 minutes, less than 10 minutes, France scores a try. And this is immediately started not looking good for the Welsh team. Huge defensive issues there. And luckily, Welsh stabilized the situation. They had a couple of injuries on the field already. Like the halfback gets injured right away. Like Tom Williams gets concussed right away. So Wales had to put on the reserve halfback. As we shall see, he probably have missed a few opportunities for the Welsh team as well. So the Wales was able to stabilize his position. The game, 15 minutes in, Wales was able to get some good pressure going for a penalty in the French side. Kicks the 3, 6 points to 10, start crawling back a bit. And then there was a 21 minutes in the game. Dan Biggar, he made a huge kick, right? From basically inside his own 22, all the way out, like 50, 55 meters, just outside the French 22. But the Entermac gets the ball. He does a quick throw in, like inside his own 22. Even though the ball went out, the outside of 22. But because of the fact that he threw the ball inside, did a quick throw to himself inside his own 22, he thought it was inside his 22. So he kicks the ball on the full. Big mistake. Wales gets an opportunity to attack. But once again, so yeah, this attack, there was a huge opportunity for Wales. Here, they get the ball, right? One phase. This was inside the French 22. Perfect attacking opportunity. They play one phase and they kick the ball away. Okay? I genuinely don't understand this. So this was the halfback that just came onto the field. Maybe there's a miscommunication. Not sure why. One phase to kick the ball away and France was out of jail, essentially. And then there was another one where something happened as well, right? So there was basically there was a so that's on the 23rd minute, right? So 5 minutes later, Wales gets another opportunity inside the French 20, just inside the 22 again, and this was a knock-on, so this was a scrum for Wales, midfield scrum, perfect position, right? So perfect position again. Ball comes out. The halfback gets the ball. Okay, let me just get his name. Okay, I just wanna get his name. This is a reserve halfback, so he's not Tom Williams. So I just wanna get his name. Kieran Hardy. He gets the ball. Grubber kicks the ball behind. 1-0 face. He gets the ball out of the scrum. Grubber kicks behind instantly and squanders another opportunity. Within 10 minutes, Wales has kicked the ball away twice within one phase inside the French 22. I was losing my mind. I kid you not, I was losing my mind here. This was beyond my comprehension. I don't know what they're trying to do here. Luckily, that stopped. Not sure because if this is like some kind of communication issue here, because maybe Kieran Hardy was told to do that when he comes off the bench in the second half, and he kind of just carried on his carried on his instructions in the first half. But that was just a complete waste of opportunity there for Wales. And also, France found themselves with quite a bit of scrum dominance during this period, was able to get themselves out of jail a couple times with the scrum as well. At the front, the only thing that was going well for the Welsh team is the line out. Wales was able to disrupt the French line out quite a little bit, which was a little bit of advantage. But overall, the more from the French is a little bit stronger. France was able to consistently go forward with the more, whilst the Welsh more was not able to go anywhere every time they tried to do it. The scrummaging, France was stronger as well in this half. And yeah, so 35 minutes in, a bit of aerial ping pong. Dan Biggar finds himself a 50-22, beautiful kick, and then this gives Wales another opportunity to attack. This time they find themselves the penalty. They take the 3. Halftime. Oh yeah, just before the 37th minute, Wales gets 9 points to 10. Just before halftime, the French tries for a drop goal. Didn't get anywhere. But halftime score, 9 points to 10, only 1 point behind for Wales. So second half starts, as we kind of like expect the Wales to come out stronger, which they did. But right away, there was a silly penalty given an offside penalty, which only 6 minutes into the second half. French kicks the 3 points, and then 9 points to 13. For the remainder 34 minutes, nobody was able to score. Wales was able to dominate the second half and not able to score. So a minute later, the Wales has a penalty. Like, Dan Biggar's game was just really on the spot. Wales had a penalty literally at like 50-meter mark in the center field, like in the middle of the field, basically where the kickoff happens. Had a penalty. Dan Biggar kicks this ball, pinpoint accurate, 5 meters line out for Wales throw in. And again, this ball comes out. This ball comes out. Wales try to go for a maul. I thought this was a bit lucky for Wales. The maul kind of split in half, and it actually looked like a truck and trailer, to be honest. The maul split in half. The ball carrier had one person in front of him. They run into a French player, and they kind of like kept, trucking forward. Went over the try line, held up, goal line dropout. I thought that should have been a penalty. That's a truck and trailer, and they actually got lucky with that because it's a goal line dropout instead of penalty for the French. So the French was having a bit of high ball errors in this period, so the Welsh were able to do these kind of like high bombs just outside the French 22 from inside the 50 into just on the border of French 22, and the French were able to just again and again like not able to handle those balls cleanly. And then there was and then so essentially for the next from 49 to about to about the 60th minute, the French were kind of like again and again giving away just silly penalties left and right, despite having that really good defense, like pushing Welsh offense back again and again and again, but then just end up giving away a silly penalty, allowing Wales opportunities to get back into the French half. So that's kind of like a lot of the story in the second half. And then on the 60th minute, the French was under the hammer once again. The Wales was having attack opportunities just around the French 22-meter line. This is when Dan Biggar spots the open space out wide. Seeing the French rush defense coming up, he does a crossfield kick to Faletau, gets the ball. Acres of space in front of him. He runs into basically Anton Dupont. He throws the ball back into infield to Jonathan Davies, and he knocks on. I couldn't believe this. I genuinely couldn't believe this. So that was the biggest opportunity, the only opportunity for Wales to score a try in the second half. And then on the 65th minute, France had another, trying to get inside the Welsh half, visibly frustrated, visibly not going forward. Tries for another drop goal, didn't happen. There was there was just basically a lot of back and forth in the second half. On the 76th minute, France had one opportunity to close out the game with a penalty just inside the Welsh half. Probably the second penalty, the only second kickable penalty, only action that they almost had in the second half, pretty much in the Welsh in the Welsh side of the field. They opt for the 3-point. Jamine kicks the ball out wide, and Wales had about 4 minutes left to try to make a comeback, and wasn't to be. So, yep, my prediction was wrong. Did not see Jonathan Davies. Not able to catch after playing rugby for must be more than 20 years. That's just the way it is. France still alive for the Grand Slam going next week against England. England versus Ireland tomorrow. Again, I've made a bold prediction on that one. Hopefully that's hopefully that one. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that goes tomorrow. And thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys tomorrow for the England versus Ireland review. Thank you. Cheers.